Hello and welcome to today's almost daily devotion. We are in Genesis chapter 1. We're going to start with the 26th verse. This is the story of creation of humans, of people, why God decided to make humans in the first place and what happened. So listen with fresh ears to the word of God. Then God said, "Let us make humanity in our image to resemble us, so they may take charge of the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the livestock, all the earth, and all the crawling things on earth." God created humanity in God's own image. In the divine image, God created them. Male and female, God created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and master it. Take charge of the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and everything crawling on the ground." The heavens and the earth and all who live in them were completed. On the sixth day God completed all the work he had done, and on the seventh day God rested from all the work that had been done. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all the work of creation. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created. So it seems like a pretty simple concept, this creation thing. God created the world and called it good. And God created humans and called them good. And it should be simple. It should be easy. It should be something that shouldn't be so complicated. And yet humans have an ability to make it more and more complicated. Now, the original writers of this chapter of Genesis were not overly concerned about the scientific method. They didn't know what the scientific method was. They didn't care what the scientific method was. They were primarily concerned about what the creation story tells us about God and about God's relationships with humanity. And so I personally don't get all riled up about the debate about how it happened and how the mechanics of all of that is way above my pay grade, above my skill set. I know that God created, God spoke, and it was, as God continues to create and speaks, and it is. And so what's all this about God creating humans in God's image? Does it mean that we physically look like God? That's how we got all those paintings of God with a white beard and white hair and looking like an old dude. Or is it a metaphor saying that we are in personality like God? And what about all this dominion and creation language? What is all that supposed to mean? I think it's helpful to remember that that this is the beginning of the book. That this is not supposed to answer every question we have about God. This is an introduction to the Bible, and it's supposed to tell us that God made humanity and gave us a job, which was to care for creation, and to remind us that all people, male and female, are made in God's image. And so we have to see that in them, even when they make it difficult for us to see it in them, even when we make it difficult for people to see it in us. If we are all made in God's image, as the Bible tells us, then how does that shape how we relate to one another? It means that we are each valuable and important to God, and that somewhere, even if it's hidden real deeply, is the light of God in them. So for that we have to be thankful, even when they make it hard for us to see it. God bless.